The reason we bought the Multiplanter was mainly due to the value for money that we found in it compared to other machines. Also, now that labour is becoming a lot harder to find, we found we could do the job of 4 men with 3, and also instead of using 2 tractors we were able to use 1 and virtually get over a similar amount of country. With the Multiplanter we saved quite a lot of fuel by running 1 tractor, and the seed placement was a lot better than we'd get with a conventional planter that we used to use. Going over contour banks was no problems, and by the end of planting we didn't have to run around and check the depth like we do normally. Once we set it at the start, we were able just to go right through, and we knew that it was pretty well spot on. With the Multiplanter we're planting at around 9 to 10 kilometres an hour on average. It does get a bit slower in the hard going, than in the easy going, anywhere up to 11 and a half. It allows you to get over quite a lot of country.
Yeah, we looked around a fair bit and priced a few, and this one seemed to come up with the best value for money and the features we wanted in it. Well, we've got a lot of contour banks on the place now, and we're looking for something of contour following ability and good seed placement. Going over the contour is one of the main problems, and we also want some width. We used to run 2 machines beforehand with 4 men, 2 on each plant doing 12-hour shifts. And now we cut this one back to, we do 3 6-hour shifts. That leaves us a man to fill the trucks and makes their shift work a fair bit easier. So we do it all with 1 machine.
Well, by running 1 tractor instead of 2, I'd say we would have saved between 15 and 20,000 litres. So every 12 hours we used to put 700 litres in the other tractor, and so it would have been a fraction more using the Challenger than it used to use, but yeah, by 1 tractor it was definitely a big saving.
Yeah, when we went to shift up to the other place, I think we folded up in about 2 hours after we learned a few tricks of the trade. I'd say probably cut it back to an hour with about 3 men. Just pulling the air seeder off and off is probably one of the worst things. The rest's pretty easy. One of the better features of the machine, each section pivots on a ball in the centre, and it's got its own wheels, and it's just pulled by a chain, therefore there's no stress on hinges or all that sort of thing.
James Coggan, J-A-M-E-S. With the width of the machine, it had a tendency to want to track downhill, and then we grew a crop of sorghum, and we wanted to be able to inter-row cultivate, and to do that accurately we needed to actually have the machine placement a lot better. That way it wouldn't knock out the rows. So we had auto farm steering on the tractors and sprays, and we were very happy with their product. And so I talked to the fellows at GPS Ag, and they said, well, we're actually developing a system over in the States, the auto farm is, and they said, we'll use yours as a prototype and get it going. And so for about 18 months they were working on it, and for this planting now they've actually got it right, and yeah, now we can actually get placement where we want it. Well, it pretty much lines the machine up. You don't get the downhill creep. Like, it's spot on placement. Like the machine will underlap every time for you now, and the guess row, I suppose you couldn't get a much better guess row than what it had. The beauty of it is that it actually lines the machine up nearly before the tractor's lined up, so it's virtually at the start of the run it's dead straight. It's just nice to be able to have a straight end. You don't have those little mist patches that grow the weeds. You see in a paddock a mist strip, and that's where your black oats grows, and well, no one likes them. They look daggy. With the auto farm and the steering on the implement now, I'm very happy with it. So I think anyone that does have a Multiplanter, they should look at putting steering on it. It will make life just that much easier. Since we've had the machine, we've had quite a few people interested in it. A couple of the neighbours have come over for a look, and we've also had one fella drop in for a look in his plane. He looked up in the sky and we found him circling. It's definitely created a bit of interest.
Just summing up, I'd say we're very satisfied. The main thing's been the saving in fuel and the less labour, good seed placement, contour following ability, and value for money. Definitely have a look at this one before you go any further.
Overall on the Multiplanter, we're extremely happy with the purchase, and would advise other people to have a look at them before they spend a lot of money on something very similar. You just can't beat the value for money.